Everyone talks about the horsepower and the speed, but the one thing nobody warned me about was how differently people are going to treat you. Once you own a Lamborghini, some of these changes were amazing, some were surprising, and some taught me a lot about people. Here are 5 things I've noticed after getting my Lambo and owning it for a whole year. Number 1 is the fact that people become a lot more friendlier. This probably was the biggest surprise. More people smile, more people wave, a lot more conversations get striked up, whether it's kids at a gas station, attendants, or random people in parking lots. You realize just how much joy these cars bring to others. A Lamborghini almost acts like an icebreaker. So that is actually one of the biggest things. So the Lamborghini acting as an icebreaker is probably one of the biggest things that you'll catch on to. I'm usually somebody who has a really stoic face. I am a little bit difficult to approach, but as soon as I come out with a Lamb, it's almost like the people that come up to you, they've known you for years. It's a really special thing, to be honest, because what once kind of used to be a formal introduction just kind of turns into more of a brotherhood immediately right off the bat, which is really cool. I feel like no other car can ever do that. Even whenever you go into car meets, at first when I just had a basic car like my Honda Civic and then I go to car meets, nobody really gives a damn about who you were or what you did, especially initially. But with a Lamborghini, it's a completely different story. You pull up there and immediately you have a crowd in front of you introducing themselves to you, and it literally makes making connections a whole lot more easy. One really cool thing is that once you do get a supercar, other supercar owners will take the initiative to come up to you, introduce themselves to you. I know this for a fact because that is what I do as well. But it definitely works as a major icebreaker, especially at car meets. Number 2 is very related, but more people want to connect with you. I found that a lot more people suddenly want to know what you do. They ask questions, they want to hear your story, and genuinely want to learn from you. The car creates opportunities and conversations that might have never happened otherwise. A lot of times whenever you're just in a normal vehicle, you'll have conversations with somebody, you'll build a good connection, but then it ends right there. But with a Lamborghini, you meet people with the Lamborghini, you meet other people with a really cool car, and then not only do you connect with them off the bat, but it also dwells into a relationship that lasts for many, many years. And not only that, it's almost like you're forming a brotherhood, because once you connect with the right people, it more likely than not is not going to be the only time that you will ever see them. A lot of times people who also share other supercars, they immediately go into groups, and then every weekend you'll be involved into a group chat, and then people talking amongst each other within the group to see where the next car meet is, so on and so forth. That's also a really big thing. So every supercar community, they kind of have their own little group, and the really big thing about this is that once you kind of get invited into those groups, it's almost like you're there forever. And then what's really cool is that within these groups, people will actually plan drives, plan rallies. If somebody sees a really good day coming up, then they'll mention, hey guys, let's go for a ride. And then before you know it, you're going to be linking up with these people on a weekly basis, and it just creates an everlasting long relationship. Number 3 is going to be the fact that it attracts both admirers and assumptions. Not everyone reacts the same. Some people automatically assume you're a show-off, you're arrogant, or that you somehow got lucky. But what's interesting is that once they actually get to know you and realize you're just a normal person, those assumptions disappear, and it often creates a really positive experience. So here's the really funny thing about being a supercar owner. You're going to have 2 different types of people. The majority of the time, you're going to have people who will immediately connect with you, become friends for a long, long time. But then the people who don't know you, as soon as you get out the car, you immediately come off as somebody who's snobby or a show-off. But as once you shake hands with those people, that's whenever the coin flips. A lot of times, whenever you're just driving on the highway, you can definitely see a lot of stares coming your way. Majority of the time, it's just kind of like stares where it's like, yeah, whatever. But then you can even start to see whenever some people do kind of envy you whenever they're riding on your butt, whenever you're just trying to drive the car and enjoy it. Number 4 is going to be the fact that it reveals people's true colors. Success has a funny way of revealing people. Some people who were once friendly seem to disappear. Meanwhile, others who you haven't heard from in years suddenly come out the woodwork. It teaches you that people can react very differently whenever they see someone doing well. So this was one of the things that I really stood by, and I knew was going to happen as soon as I got the car. One of the biggest things that I paid attention to was just basically knowing who your true friends were. So a lot of times your true friends are going to be the people who were there for you whenever you were down in the dumps, whenever you were just the nobody or somebody just kind of going through college, stuff like that. Those are going to be your true friends that you want to hold on to for a long, long time. You want to lift them up. You want to stay in touch with them. The people you kind of want to watch out for are going to be the ones that disappear as soon as you get the car. You'll notice them kind of get quiet or just completely lose touch with you, especially after getting the car. And then some people will just come out of nowhere and be like, hey, how you been? So the people who are just neutral, who are just your day ones, those are the people you definitely want to hold on to. And don't get me wrong, you're going to meet a lot of great people even after you get the car, which is all completely cool stuff. But even then too, you'll start to see the people who are just respecting you for the car, and maybe they may not be respecting as much for who you are as a person. But I will say that that is a bit of a 50-50 mix. The majority of the time after you get the car, the people you meet are going to be great people. Number 5 is going to be the fact that you find out who truly supports you. And honestly, this might be the most valuable lesson. The people who treat you exactly the same before and after the Lamborghini are usually the people you want to keep around. The car doesn't change who you are, but it definitely shows who your real supporters are. In any relationship, I've always kind of believed that somebody is either going to be an asset to you or they're going to be a liability to you. Some people you talk to, some people you meet, they either make you feel really good or they either make you feel really drained. What I've noticed after getting the car is, yes, there has been a lot more social media attention. I would say, yes, the car has a lot to do with that as well. But even after you get the car, you're still going to know the people who are there to just help you out, to lift you up. But then some people from your high school days may come out to you and say, hey, can I get a loan from you? So that is what I mean to just watch out for. But overall, if I had to say what the experience has been like, yes, people do treat you differently. Most of the time, it's going to be a lot of nonverbal communication that you may just pick up on, or if you're good at reading people, you'll definitely pick up on. For the most part, probably 90% of the time, this is all completely fine. If anything, if I had to kind of point one thing out of these 5 things that is the biggest thing, it's going to be the fact that the vehicle just makes it so much more easy to network with people. And that is a really valuable thing, because if you're just somebody who's also just trying to meet new people who are on the same journey as you, who are also trying to level up and become the best version of themselves, you're going to meet a lot of people like that. And so it does kind of come down to your mindset too. You tend to attract whatever you are. So if you're somebody who's toxic, who has a Lamborghini, you're going to attract other toxic people who have Lamborghinis. But if you're somebody who's there with a supercar that's trying to make connections and just help people out and make the world a better place, then that is also what you're going to be attracting. But at the end of the day, the Lamborghini is just a car. But it's fascinating because it almost acts like a mirror. It doesn't just change your life, it reveals human nature. And honestly, seeing how people react has been just as interesting as owning the car itself. Thank you all for watching, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all for the next one.